Welcome into another live edition of The Meltdown. Thrilled to have you here with us as Challengers stars Zendaya and officially opens up this weekend. But how well will the film do? 10 with Tim will ask some more questions of personal taste to our panel of Rocky, E.G., and John. And Lunce's list highlights some of the absolute best things that you can stream on Netflix this weekend. This is The Meltdown, presented by MyBookie and broadcasting live from the Culver studio.
Two big boys in a tiny studio, teaching you and me about everything they know to make sound. A meltdown, it's the meltdown, time for the meltdown, coming for the meltdown, let's start the show.
Welcome in, all of our lovely, beautiful Meltdonians. Thank you for making us a part of your daily routine right here on The Meltdown. If you have not already, we would love for you to subscribe, be a part of this journey as we continue to grow, trying to hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of the summer months. I am Tim Melton, your host here of Meltdonia. Along with me, that is my co-host, Mr. John Lunsford, who makes up the other half of this program on a daily basis. Mr. Lunsford, so happy you're here. Was it the right move, in your opinion, to give former USC Trojan Reggie Bush his Heisman back?
Absolutely. I've been saying it from the minute, honestly didn't care taking it away in the first place, but at the minute NIL became a thing, they should have given it back to him. I feel like if something is illegal and you say, actually it should be legal anyway, then you shouldn't punish him after the fact. I think you should give it back, and I'm glad he has it back.
Do you think there's anything else that needs to be righted in the world of sports? Do you believe Pete Rose needs to be able to be in the Hall of Fame? Do you believe that if a player wants to gamble on themselves as an NFL player, that should be allowed now that the NFL has fully embraced Las Vegas as a destination? You think open up the floodgates?
As long as you don't bet against yourself,
right? I
think you should be allowed to do anything. If you're saying I should play my best today and win, then you should do that anyway, or else you shouldn't be playing in the league and you're throwing things anyway.
In the motto of sports, you should always believe in yourself. And what better way to believe in yourself than by placing a wager on yourself?
Yeah, bet on yourself. You should always bet on yourself. That's what I was told to do. Hey, bet on yourself, because as long as you believe it, you can achieve it. I think you should also be able to place bets if you and Rocky are playing in something and I'm literally sitting at home twiddling my thumbs watching TV. I should be able to bet on whichever one of y'all I think is going to do better, because I can't change that outcome. So why can't I bet on it?
This opens up a whole nother line of discussion. I'm
also a degenerate, though, so I'll throw that out there.
Perfectly fine. We welcome in E.G. to the conversation. E.G., thank you for being here for yet another day. Yesterday's Triple Threat Trivia was very exciting. It came down to the final few moments. It was quite intense without spoiling the outcome of how that turned out. How did you feel being a part of it in the seat in which you're in?
I loved it. I felt like I was a part of the action, but it wasn't as stressful, if you will. Like I said, I am on a training hiatus, and I got to be in the arena without the pressure. It's great.
Well, maybe we'll see more of EG in that role in the future. Rockstar, you've competed on Triple Threat Trivia. There's a lot of people who feel like when they're in the arena, they can just knock it out of the park. It's a lot easier said than done.
It's not all up to you. That's the problem. It's not up to your skills. It's up to Lunsford gets a pass and gives me a Victoria's Secret fashion model question I don't know, and then I lose 16 points for some reason, and he'll gain 3. So it's very confusing. And, of course, the days that I'm not on, you play the trivia game. That's just saying. Just weird.
Well, who knows? You may end up circling back around, and we may have a resurgence of you as a Triple Threat Trivia threat for the crown. Spud is pretty intense about it. You know that.
He likes trivia?
Yeah.
Well, I'm wanting to know, EG, when is your trivia hiatus up? When are you?
I can't reveal that information.
Okay.
It's very confidential.
Aggressors
will know first, though.
Yes.
She holds that close to the vest.
I can tell. You don't want to hit the river yet.
Rockstar, please don't disregard my upsetness I get when you start to mock poker and the fact that we have a poker
I have
club.
never once mocked poker.
That's not true.
Never.
You never once done it. You've done it 1,000 times.
Well, It only helps me because you engage it. You make me want to do it more.
That is correct. It's my fault for being a victim.
Yep.
You do a lot of impressions here on the show. One of them is of Mark Wahlberg, who seems to have one less friend now. Wahlberg and F45 gym founders have recently been sued by soccer star David Beckham over a deal that allegedly cost him $10.5 million in profit. According to The Sun, David Beckham Ventures Limited tells them that they ended up in a situation where shares in F45 were promised to the global ambassador that was brought on in David Beckham and his firm early in 2022 as a part of a deal. However, Beckham suffered substantial financial losses when the promised stocks were not delivered until after their value plummeted from around $12 to $3 per share. His legal team claims this delay cost him up to $10.5 million in potential profit. Do you think there's any sympathy from anybody out there when millionaires lose millions of dollars?
No, but I read up on this, and I don't know what it has to do with Mark Wahlberg. I know he's part owner, or he has a financial stake in it, but they said that the reason he didn't get paid, he invested in 2022, David Beckham. Mm-hmm. The reason he didn't get his shares was because they had a slower growth period because of COVID 2 years earlier. And that was the problem, that it would fluctuate. And they said that he knew this, that they told him this. They don't know where these accusations are coming. He said they also owed him $5 million in general. Then he got $10 million in the shares or something like that. So it's like $15 million total. So it does suck when somebody gets swindled because people put money into something. And boy got swindled. What are you going to do? Weak walls, Nicole. Nicole forever. Weak walls.
For those that don't know, that is the Mark Wahlberg impression in which I am going with. I didn't know how you were going to transition into it, but you surely gave it a shot.
Guys, look. I think it's a transformer. That's a transformer.
That's pretty good. It's getting better. The thing about your Wahlberg impression is it takes about 10 attempts to get to perfection. Yeah. So just keep working on it.
I know, that's my problem. If I do Irish, I'll go into Scottish within 10 seconds, and I'll go from Scottish into English, and then I'll turn back to redneck. It's like my Morgan Freeman turns from Morgan Freeman into Matthew McConaughey.
Well, I thought you were going to say Morgan Freeman turns into Morgan Wallen.
No, it turns in, I don't know how Morgan Wallen. I just throw a chair, I guess. But my Morgan Wallen turns into Morgan Freeman turns into Matthew McConaughey.
EG takes it as a personal insult when you go after Morgan Wallen. I figured that out.
He's the one that throws chairs, not me. He's had a little checkered pass.
He's come out and apologized and said that he's reached out to the team at Chiefs and it won't happen again.
EG, remember that time I hit you in the face? I'm sorry.
Thank you. I accept.
Are we good? Okay.
Totally.
Yeah.
Beckham and Wahlberg became friends when the former Manchester United and Real Madrid player moved to Los Angeles in 2007 to join Major League Soccer's LA Galaxy. In response to all of this, Wahlberg and his co-defendants refute the fraudulent conduct allegations and seek dismissal of the lawsuit. Don't you hate it, John, when friendships come to an end over business? It's a very depressing thing.
Yes, it is. I've also I want trivia, so I'm not going to make anything personal here today.
He did it. He set you up for it. You guys are in business together, and you guys are friends.
What did you just say?
Nothing
About trivia?
I said I want trivia, so I'm not going to attack anything.
This is how it starts.
Spoil the ending of how things went yesterday, so people can go check it out. And then you are the worst at spoiling things. I'm just going to point that out. The absolute worst at spoiling things.
He did say no spoiler alerts.
Did you know something happened with Han Solo in a movie once? No. Look, I looked this up real quickly after you mentioned it to Rocky earlier. I also saw Terrell Owens, who I think is the best receiver to ever play the game. I said what I said. But he also had sued them as well. So apparently it's not the first time they've gone after high-profile athletes and not done what they were supposed to do.
You've had some hot takes today, and this is the ending of a friendship. This is millions of dollars on the line. We'll keep you up to date on how this lawsuit goes. E.g., are you personally more invested into Beckham or Wahlberg as a person who keeps up with the celebrity scene a little bit?
Beckham.
Only one is married to a Spice Girl.
Posh Spice?
Has David Beckham had plastic surgery?
Oh, my God, yes.
He had Botox.
It's uncomfortable.
He was adamant for years he would never get plastic surgery.
But I don't know if you consider Botox plastic surgery.
I don't know. He
more
looks
cosmetic.
different to me. To me, he looks like he's shifting into Urban Meyer. He looks like he's becoming Urban Meyer a little bit. Anybody else see that?
I can see it a little bit.
Yeah, he looks like he's put something in there, some filler.
Filler, Botox.
Some filler. I mean, Posh, she's looked the same since 1996. I think something's going on there too. She seems like she has a ton of personality. She thinks like she'd be
Did you
fun to
see
hang out with.
the documentary that they did though?
I did not.
Okay, you will change your tune. She's so funny.
Okay.
Has anyone seen it?
This exact discussion has happened between me and my wife about that documentary. Like, but look, you don't understand. And I was like, I know who they are. I know what they've done.
But you don't think if a camera crew comes in here, I'm going to change my personality a little bit to be more.
She explains it all. She explains it all.
Okay.
And I think it's excellent. And that might tie into Lunce's list today.
Oh, wow.
I have not watched it.
You're not supposed to spoil it. He's supposed to spoil it.
I have not
I
watched
just said
it.
it
So
might tie
it
in.
is
That
not,
is a plethora thing. It could be soccer related. It could be England related. It could be anything under the sun.
It ain't making my Lunce's list. I'll say that.
It's been very sports heavy thus far with talking about football and soccer, et cetera, et cetera. Let's now shift to tennis. Challengers is opening up this weekend. And according to Deadline, Amazon MGM Studios is betting that plenty of 18 to 24-year-olds will be interested in the new R-rated tennis relationship drama Challengers as it finally steps onto the court this weekend after being pushed from September 15th of 2023 to a release date that is today, April 25th of 2024, eyeing a potential, John, $15 million domestic opening at 3,400 locations. This thing seems to be trending upward. I think a lot of that is probably due to the word of mouth of people who have already seen it during early screenings. We got a chance to see it on Monday evening. Challengers is a movie that both of us really enjoyed. For me, it's my favorite movie I've seen so far this year. Where does it rank for you on your yearly list right now?
Right now, it is number 2 for me on my yearly list, behind another Zendaya movie, of course, Dune 2. I was probably highest on, even though I didn't go see it 5,000 times like Tyler did. But
that's where he's at right now.
He's literally watching
Dune again.
Is that the
You got to be out of your mind.
He's seen it.
This would be 6 or 7.
I think he's seen it 5 times. I think he's seen it 5
So
times.
he and Tim are tied with their Oppenheimer and Dune love. But no,
Jeez.
I really like Dune. I just know it's a long movie to go sit through, and there's plenty of other things to see. But Challengers is number 2 for me. It was a really well done movie. Our review will be up here in a little bit. After the show, you can check out our spoiler review once you have gone to see it.
Challengers was bought by MGM in a 2-project combo with Bones and All and had been originally set to fire off the Venice Film Festival, but the studio moved it because Zendaya couldn't promote it during the strike, meaning no additional box office buzz. The actress, though, now can promote it to her social media following of 200 million plus people, as she's one of the 25 most followed stars on Instagram worldwide. Relish Mix, they evaluate all this and they weigh the social media universe for Challengers over TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram combined, it being how many millions of people? Anybody want to take a guess?
525 million.
525 million?
620.
620?
708.
708, you guys keep going the wrong direction. 225 million
just
sets
said
of
one.
eyeballs.
Well, what's interesting to me that I just realized that, I'm in this media thing, but I had no idea. Like when I think of people promoting their product, I think of going on the Tonight Show and going on Howard Stern or going on radio programs and this whatever Today's Show and all this stuff. I totally forgot about. You can get right there with your fans and social media.
Yep.
More people are seeing her social media than the Tonight Show. That just blows my mind that is just getting thrown by the wayside. Like maybe if he plays a goofy game with Jimmy Fallon, they can make it viral on YouTube. But like that's insane that 200 million followers on social media.
The first Challengers trailer racked up 150 million plus global views when it dropped late last summer. At the time, Challengers was the most viewed trailer for an original film in its first 24 hours, meaning not a sequel or reboot or based on pre-existing intellectual property. The movie will share IMAX screens this weekend with Dune Part 2 and A24's Civil War. I think that there's no way Civil War makes it 3 weeks in a row at number 1. I think Challengers, it may underperform, it may overperform, it may be right there at the $15 million mark. I wouldn't be shocked if this movie makes $12 million or if it makes $20 million. There's a wide range for the opening of what Challengers is going to do, but they're dependent on a younger audience getting excited to actually go to the theater to watch this when the younger audience has been conditioned more than anybody to just wait for things to fall on streaming at their fingertips.
I think there's one movie that's going to help this more than any, and that is Saltburn, which was a little over the top in what it did. It's a movie that I don't think anybody in here. I know y'all probably haven't seen it, and I know you saw it on Amazon, right?
Correct.
So, because it's an Amazon MGM movie too. I went to the theater to see it, but only because my wife was like, I got to go see this because it has a lot of big name people in it. But it made like $20 million total at the box office, but it became a viral movie, and it was a moment for a while with the craziness that happens in it. And then it became a must watch for a lot of people. And I'm sure it didn't pull Zack Snyder numbers or whatever on streaming, but I feel like it was probably pretty well received on streaming. This also is an Amazon movie that will probably pop up on Prime quick enough to where it will have that kind of, hey, you should go check this out. Hey, there's this one scene in there. Hey, this is a super dramatic movie. Watch Zendaya doing the most Zendaya's ever done on screen before, and then it'll kind of have that same following, I feel like.
I don't necessarily disagree. I think this movie will make way more than Saltburn did in its theatrical run, though, and I think it is a film that is more beneficial to seeing with a live audience. It was one for us. We go over it in depth in our spoiler review, which once again you'll be able to check out right here on the Meltdown channel, and we look forward to you seeing the film and coming back and chatting with us about it in the comments section. E.g., Challengers is a movie that you're aware of. Is it a movie that you plan to actually go out and see, or is it something that you'll wait to come to you?
No, I think I'll actually go out and see it. I only knew about it because of the Meltdown, though. I've not seen it promoted at all, which I thought was pretty interesting. And I am the demographic that they're targeting.
Are you following Zendaya on Instagram?
No.
Okay.
Never seen a TikTok about it either. And I'm active on the talk.
Wow.
If you will.
Active on the talk.
Is there buzz about this movie right now, John, in your opinion?
Challengers?
Yeah, like actual buzz. Can you feel the buzz? Because you can't make the argument that it's going to be like...
Which way are you going?
No, I'm just saying, it's a legitimate question.
Yes,
there's no setup here.
Yes, there's buzz.
You think there is a buzz about this movie?
I think there's a little bit of buzz.
Why are you
just went from yes, there's a
Why are you
buzz,
acting so
and a little
weird
bit of a
right
buzz.
now? You're talking about the inappropriate stuff right now. That's what's running through your head right now.
No, you were segueing to something. I'm not
segueing to anything. I'm asking you. You said that it's going to have a Saltburn-like effect to where it's going to...
I just pulled up my TikTok to see if they're advertising anything since it is coming out today. First thing I got was for the Knuckles show on Peacock or whatever. So
when are we going to talk about that?
If that beat out
eventually,
if that beat out Challengers, then it may not be a good weekend
now
for it.
I'm
I don't
curious.
know. We just do not live in a traditional release sort of world anymore. People do expect, I'll just wait for something to hit streaming and that's where I'll watch it. And
well, if I said Zendaya's not in this, some other girl is.
Yeah.
Are you
dead on arrival?
Is there a buzz? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I
crazy.
mean, this is one of those that probably instead of Amazon buying it, A24 buys it and tries with it. That sometimes works, sometimes doesn't work with A24. At least financially, it hardly ever works. But the thing that would keep this from making hundreds of millions is the two guys that's in it. It's Zendaya. It cost $55 million to make. That I don't honestly know where a lot of that money went. I'm sure a lot of it went to Zendaya, obviously, but just in watching it, it's like I feel like this movie, if I would have guessed, would have cost $20 million to make, but it cost $55 million to make instead.
It looks really good, though.
It looks really good. Don't get me wrong. Everything's really good about it, and it's got some decent names behind it from the director standpoint, from the music standpoint, all that. But I don't know. If they had just like that one other person in it, then it's like, hey, her and Tom Holland do it.
Ooh.
Then it's a whole different story.
Macaulay Culkin or something like that.
Don't know about that one.
Oh,
I was thinking her actual boyfriend. They can do whatever they want to on screen at that point.
In comparison, Civil War also, it costs $50 million to make, so around the same ballpark.
Was $50 million?
That's low for a movie of that scale.
Yeah, with the action and explosions and all that kind of stuff, I
Oh.
totally get it.
Yeah, that's typically pretty low. Let's play a little game.
okay.
Called 10 with Tim. This is where I've got some questions, some burning questions, and I need some answers. And I have the perfect panel here with me to discuss it. I want to start with EG. EG,
Okay.
what's the best food to eat at a baseball game?
Oh my goodness. There's so many.
You
Okay.
love baseball. For those
I
that don't
do.
know, you are a baseball obsessed.
Yes.
Huge Atlanta Braves fan.
Huge. So I'm going to go with my favorite meal at Truist Park, which this cannot be found at all ballparks. The brisket nachos / pulled pork nachos are insane. I get them every fifth inning. I've gotten them since high school, and they are incredible.
I feel like almost every ballpark or football stadium that serves barbecue, that's typically the way to go.
Yeah. I mean, it is so good.
You laugh, but
Every fifth inning.
Every fifth inning.
at Bryant-Denny Stadium, since the minute they have had it, which has probably been 15 years, every third quarter I go and get Dreamland barbecue nachos at every Alabama game.
Is it like Pavlov? Like when you hear that buzzer, like I gotta get
If
Dreamland.
I don't do it, Alabama loses the game, so I got to do it.
So they've won every time you've had that? You liar.
So good.
Russell's saying a freaking hot dog. I don't know the difference between a regular hot dog and a freaking hot dog.
This one screams all the time.
That's what Russell wants.
I also have to add the lemonade, Minute Maid frozen lemonade
Yes.
is so good at a Braves game. Oh,
You know what I think is overrated? I hope I don't make anybody upset. Dippin' Dots. I've always thought
What's
Dippin'
ice cream of the
Dots-
future?
Always thought Dippin' Dots is highly overrated, and by the time you get back to your seat, it's all kind of melted.
My wife asks for it every time we go anywhere and never gets it. Because it's always like too long a line.
It is
They're
always a
out,
long line.
whatever. Yeah.
Wow.
Rocky, what's the best food to eat at a baseball game?
So the last thing I had at a baseball game, I think it was a Barons game. It was kind of a date, and this person I was with was on Snapchat the whole time. So I excused myself
no.
and got a Choco Taco,
Choco Taco?
and I enjoyed it by myself while this girl was on Snapchat with her little GIF version of herself making things on the field, and I enjoyed a Choco Taco.
What's a
Her
Choco Taco?
Bitmoji?
It's basically a taco that's chocolate ice cream and a taco. I think they discontinued it.
Yeah.
You can buy it at the gas station, but like
That's good.
I'm not a big baseball. Like the last Major League Baseball game I went to was probably a Seattle Mariners game in the Kingdom
Wow.
in seventh grade.
My gosh.
Never been to a Braves game in my life.
my
Never been to a
gosh.
Yankees game. I've been to Fenway when I was in third
That's
grade.
cool.
We saw the White Sox play the Red Sox, and we left like in the fourth inning because I was having a tantrum. But yeah, so Choco Taco.
I didn't realize this was going to be such a sensitive subject.
Oh, it's not sensitive. I don't really have a contribution.
I'm trying to remember. We went to a Braves game or a Barons game for
Yeah, and
here. And the three of us, we were about to go shoot a video, and we all sat down and ate. And I don't remember what we ate. I probably ate a hot dog. The answer's hot dog. But
You had some kind of something brisket. I thought like some kind of cheese brisket,
one
nachos
time,
or something.
One time I got nachos that was like buffalo nachos,
Nope.
but it had some kind of
Yum.
blue cheese sauce on it, which I hate blue cheese. Buffalo stuff I like, but I
cheese
hate
is awful.
I hate blue cheese, and it was doused in blue cheese. I took one bite and I had to throw it away. But it was. I remember we said I want to say I had hot dogs, but maybe I did. I don't know. But anyway, that was a couple years ago. That's probably the last baseball game I've been to. No. I went to a baseball game for poker, but outside of that, that was the last time I remember eating something.
Across the river.
Glad you remember it. Charles said hot dog, popcorn, and beer. That's all you need. Russell wants some peanuts.
Popcorn is good.
Justin loves Dippin' Dots. And Brock, hot dog, Cracker Jacks, and popcorn.
Cracker Jacks are always moist and they're stuck together. Ugh.
If you end up cracking your tooth, visit Alabama Dental
Yes.
Associates. They include the most caring, compassionate, and understanding professionals in the business. This team that's located on Grants Mill Road in Alabama Dental Associates, led by Dr. Jeff and Dr. Brian, make sure you feel at ease in the dental chair. They have the best in dental healthcare equipment and provide the absolute friendliest of experiences. I'm a patient, and you should be one too. You can call them for all of their services that they provide at 205-956-8977. That's 956-8977. Or you can visit alabamadental.com. I had a lot of anxiety about trying to find that perfect dentist, and I'm so happy to have found this team in Dr. Jeff and Dr. Brian, as they now look forward to seeing you. So make sure you reach out and schedule your appointment today, 956-8977, or visit alabamadental.com. Second question here on 10 with Tim. John, who is the first famous person, dead or alive, that comes to mind when you hear the name Daniel?
Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis. E.G.?
Radcliffe,
Daniel Radcliffe, with all those staircases at Hogwarts.
142.
Ready for me?
You guys keep spoiling trivia. Yes, go right ahead, Rockstar.
Elton John.
From the song
Daniel.
Daniel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why. That's the first thing I thought
I
of.
appreciate your honest answer.
I'll
there.
accept it. I'll accept it.
I think of
What do you think? I'm going to be dishonest?
You think of Daniel Craig?
I think of Daniel Negreanu is the first person I think of, actually, who plays
Karishtin.
poker.
Oh.
That was a character from Star Trek, I believe, that you named. Don't know what that was. Next question. Rocky, what is your favorite roller coaster of all time?
EG, you ready?
Never ridden one.
I have never been on a roller coaster in my life. I've never been to Six Flags.
Hold on.
Really?
So you've never been
Never
to a
been to
baseball
Six Flags.
game.
I've
You
been to
can't
a baseball
name
game.
You can't name an actual Daniel, and you have not ever been on a roller coaster. Is it just your intention to be an anarchist in this game?
Yeah, I want to mix things up. No, the last thing I think I rode, we went to some like maybe Busch Gardens, and it was some kind of rowboat that like went in the air.
Pirate ship?
Oh, I love
And
those.
I lost my mind, and like that's not fun to me. Like I cried. I think I was 26. No, I was probably like 8. But I don't have that appeal of getting on a roller coaster like I want to. And I've never stepped foot in the Six Flags.
You're not missing anything there.
Yeah.
So if we ever do like a bracket challenge where you're a participant.
Well, I'm not like deathly afraid of them. I just don't want to do them. I'm not saying like, no, I can't, I won't. I mean, I would do it, but I'm not like, I got to go on a roller coaster.
Okay, so you're in that weird medium point
Yeah.
where you're indifferent.
Like
about
again,
it.
I'm not against going to baseball games. I just don't go to them.
John,
I'm just not fun.
I don't know what today has turned into, but I love every minute of it. My question to you is, what is your favorite roller coaster of all time?
It would have been a tie before a couple of years ago between the Hulk and Dueling
Vision
Dragons
Man.
at Universal, but they got rid of Dueling Dragons, and I rode the Hulk again as an adult for the first time. And
It's a weird sentence.
My head was banging so back and forth so much, and I guess I'm old now, that I came off of it like dizzy. I don't know why, but it is now Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
Very popular answer here in the chat. I think there's a time in everyone's life when they ride a roller coaster after maybe a little bit of a gap of having not ridden one in a while where they go, I'm now too old to ride roller coasters.
That was it for me.
And that was it for you. E.G., do you feel like you're too old to ride roller coasters now, or do you still enjoy them?
I
Or
still enjoy them.
What's your favorite of all time?
So I have 2 at Six Flags, actually, Rocky. Superman, and like you start out like this and they move you so you're like flying. Love that. And then at Universal, I can't remember what it's called, but you can like pick the song before you go on it. I like that one.
It's not Rock and Roller Coaster. That's
That's the Disney one, but there's one at Universal.
Is it
Yeah.
red?
Yeah,
yeah, I know the one
Yeah.
you're talking about. I can't remember the name of it.
Me and my brother, when we were there for Thanksgiving like 3 years ago, we just kept riding it like over
Rip
and
Ride.
over and over again.
I went to a Tonight Show taping at Universal where they were part of the big thing was unveiling that new ride.
Really?
Rip Ride Rocket.
That's it.
Ride, yeah, that one.
Wide bucket.
And when you go up the track, you're going on your back
Yeah,
all the way
yeah,
straight
yeah.
up on a 90-degree
I
angle.
love that.
Yeah. No thanks. I didn't ride it, but I went to the Tonight Show there for it. Next question. E.g., what scent of candle is arguably your least favorite?
Anything vanilla or cake or
My favorites. You just keep naming my favorites. here.
anything food related, like strawberry shortcake, vanilla-y food, coffee, anything like that. Blech, vomit.
What about cinnamon?
No, I don't like anything food related. I want clean, fresh, like fresh linen. Volcano.
Clean linen. That's where to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Volcano is my favorite scent of all time. You guys know
I
that
love
one?
I don't know what.
I don't know what a volcano smells
No. It's from Capri
I
Blue.
liked it,
If you ever
Rocky.
had a chance,
That's
Laurel
okay.
probably knows what I'm talking about. But it's
Sure.
it's awesome.
Volcano is not a scent, though. It's
But that's the-
it's a marketing gimmick. What does
No,
that mean?
it erupts just scents. Just, oh.
It's Capri Blue, and we're giving them free advertising. And they like if you walk into like any kind of like nice boutique type store, it smells a certain
I
way.
think you're talking to the wrong group here.
Yeah.
That's
Keep
true.
going. I love boutique.
It is so good. Like my mom always has it in our house at home. Or
feel like I've
love
seen
like
these before.
Yeah, you have. Like an orange scent. Love like a citrus, but nothing sweet. Ugh.
Wow. Okay. I feel personally attacked here.
Yeah.
Number one, I'm not walking into a lot of boutiques, and number two, I like
Like a
give
home
me
goods
give me
store?
the sugary smelling candles. That smells good to me.
I like on the website it says Volcano, with its familiar feel and cult-like following.
There is.
Volcano is the perfect blend of sugared citrus and tropical fruits.
Oh, it has sugar.
Don't know how you get Volcano out of that, but
But it is so good. I actually have like some in a
Samples?
bag. Yeah, I do actually.
Okay.
Not in here though, but we can. I
No.
can explore the. You guys can explore the scent after this.
Rockstar, you don't really eat at baseball games. You didn't name a famous Daniel. You've never been on a roller coaster.
have you sniffed a candle?
Give me something here to work with.
I don't like, there was something like, if it's not Christmas time, I don't like cinnamon or any of that stuff because it reminds me of Christmas time. I
Yeah.
don't want to be in June with a candle in the house smelling like cinnamon. But there was something that, like, it was like pancakes or something like that, that are waffles. I don't know what the scent was, but I was like, it smells like pancakes. No, that's like Harvest Moon. I was like, no, that is pancakes. Like the whole house smells like pancakes. So
you hated that smell.
well, yeah, because it's just like it's fajitas. Why do we have a candle that smells like fajitas? I don't know. It just kills the smell. I don't want a
so
food
overwhelming food smells for you as well.
That's not an existent food. Like, oh, is that fresh baked bread? No, that's a candle. Why did we do that? Or here, this is brewing coffee.
Yeah.
Why? Bacon?
Why?
I love it. I'm sorry. I don't like baking candles, but John, are you going to back me up here that the sugary stuff smells the best?
I like vanilla. I won't say every food I like. I feel like it's very hit or miss with food, but there are hits. The biggest thing I don't like, the best scent is lavender to me. But the thing I don't like is when, I guess volcano would fall under this, when they do something like, oh, this is, candle is called microphone. It's like, well, does it smell like my microphone? No, it smells like, burning wood. And it's like, well, where the hell did you get that name from?
So kind of like volcano.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like volcano. Like, you'll go down the aisle, because my wife does love candles. So I'll go down the aisle at Target and be like, hey, what candles am I randomly going to find that she may like?
Right.
And it's so many random names. I have to pick up and sniff every one of them. And 50% of them smell.
That's why it's working.
50% of them smell terrible. And then the rest of them are like, they could have just called that one lavender, or they could have just called that one vanilla.
Well, no, it's the same thing with car colors. What color? Ashful pewter. Wait, what? It's ashful pewter. I had a car that was thundercloud. What?
My car is dark red, but the official color is burgundy velvet.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like,
That's
just
why.
call it dark red.
Yeah, mine has some weird name to it too, but I don't remember what it is. Okay, let's go to this one. John, actually, let's go to Rockstar first.
Good.
Okay.
Rockstar, who is, in your opinion, the most overrated superhero? Most overrated superhero.
Captain America.
Tell me why.
I don't know why spoiler alert, why he can pick up Thor's hammer, because he's Captain America. Are y'all going to get into that with me? That kind of.
I can explain why, but yeah.
I don't. But how?
Don't yet, John.
I just think it's what is his? I know he was made strong and everything by the American government in World War II, and like Frozen, and
He had some serum that was.
Everybody has
used.
some serum. It's always some serum. It's always a glowing thing. We got to get the glowing thing at the end of the movie. But I would say Captain America.
Okay, John, who, in your opinion,
The guy throws a shield.
you can answer the question for Rocky first.
Captain America can pick up the hammer because he is worthy enough to pick up the hammer, because he is pure good, basically, that he can pick it up. Because Thor's whole thing is only those who are worthy can pick it up. Everybody else goes and tries to do it. Like, Iron Man isn't worthy because he's like a billionaire playboy who's made a lot of people mad, has bad parts to him and all that.
That happened in Age of Ultron.
Captain America goes and tries to pick it up and it budges. He doesn't fully pick it up, but it
Wonder Woman's not all good?
shifts a little bit.
Thor was like, you could tell
Yeah.
there's a reaction shot of him in Age of Ultron where he's like, oh.
Wonder Woman's not all good.
Wonder Woman is not in that universe, but Wonder Woman would probably be the
Oh yeah, she's
equivalent.
DC. Spider-Man's not worthy.
No,
Why? He's too young.
he hasn't
Yeah.
fully developed himself yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't explain why every person can pick.
Well, you're saying he's the only one that's worthy.
Like Vision can pick it up, and Vision is a robot, basically, but he's built pure good because of how they built him.
Sorry.
You did
it, Tim.
It is what it is.
You did it.
However, my answer, I didn't answer. My answer would be Captain America.
He throws a shield.
Two Captain Americas there.
Because guess what? Thor's already got the hammer.
Yep.
I know now he also has Stormbreaker, but he could probably use both of them and he could give the other one then to Jane to be Thor, and then I guess it still exists. I guess he gave it to his. He gave Stormbreaker to his kid, so Thor is a kid now. So there's no reason for Captain America to have the hammer. So I don't care. He can throw his shield. He's strong. There's a ton of people that have taken the Super Soldier Serum, and
Got one for you. He's got a brother that's very stays under the radar. He's very low key.
That's
I'll give you one clap on that.
that's rough. EG, I know you've been waiting in just anticipation to go from boutiques and candles to this question.
Yes.
My question to you is, who is, in your opinion, the most overrated superhero?
I don't know her name. She got the haircut.
Black Widow.
No, the
Madame
blonde
Web.
girl, the blonde girl that got her hair cut to like a boy short one.
Captain Marvel?
Captain Marvel.
Oh, Oh, she's super useful. She just randomly wasn't there for most of the
She was
final
on
battle.
vacation.
But
I would say Black Widow is probably up there though.
My useless. Wait, is the what like most useless superhero? That
no,
the
it's most
question?
overrated.
Overrated. Okay, so I'm not going off of use. I'm going off of just like you're annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay. She
I
is
would say
definitely
Hawkeye,
good.
but he's not over. Like nobody talks about
Is
him.
that because Brie Larson is annoying? The actress, or is it because the character is annoying?
both. And that car commercial that she does, that really set me over the edge.
Wow.
She likes to drive Nissan.
It's a Brie Larson thing. Yeah.
I'm going to say Cyclops seems like more of a workplace liability than he does an actual leader and superhero. I mean,
At least that's cool.
he drops his sunglasses, and the next thing you know, the whole office is done.
Yeah. And then you
He's
got
an HR nightmare.
That's why they built some goggles that are more like attached to his face.
Better stay on there. It's more of a disease than a superpower. It's like lasers coming out of your eyes. I mean, think about just how annoying that would be
It's a great
to have to
rebrand.
live with.
Sure. That's the whole thing about mutants is it's all annoying, but Professor X helps them hone their craft.
Would you want to be Cyclops' eye doctor? I wouldn't. Would you want to be Cyclops' dentist? I would not. I would not like that. I'll have to ask Dr. Brian and Dr. Jeff what they think. Next question.
Would you like to have Wolverine as your masseuse? We
No,
can
I
do
would
this all
not.
day.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Is there ever a time, John, where you prefer taking a nice hot bath over a shower?
Oh yeah, all the time.
You're a bathtub guy?
I mean, I'm a shower guy in general, but mostly when I'm like tired, like I'll take a bath just for the hell of it.
E.g., is there ever a time where you prefer a bathtub over a shower?
I've not taken a bath since probably like 2004.
Some people that are very particular about not wanting to get in a bathtub, or they live by that creed.
It's not. I just have always felt like you get cold really quickly, and I do have long legs, and so y'all probably see me like fidgeting over here.
Well, tell me about it.
Yeah.
I being a 7-foot monster, it's very difficult with the bathtub
Yeah.
situation.
Now my roommate in college, her and her sister, like they only took baths. Like showering was
Separately.
separately,
Just to let that out there.
separately. But I always like.
They weren't conserving water.
I can't imagine.
We've already talked about challengers. Let's continue on.
I love her with everything in me. She's one of my best friends. But it was always perplexing to me. And I let her know
There's
that.
people that they choose their sides and they stick with it. Am I right in the series Friends that they only had a bathtub? Or did they also have a shower
They had
in
a
Friends?
shower.
Ooh, I haven't. It's been a long
They
time.
had a shower?
Yeah, they
Don't
had a
ask
shower.
me.
A lot of things happened in the bathtub
Yeah,
there
a
in
lot of
Friends.
things did have.
And Saltburn.
Rocky, is there ever a time where you prefer getting in the bathtub over getting in the shower?
No. Can I ask you your method? Can I get a group answer here on your method? Do you fill the bath water first, then get in? The best part of a bath for me is when the water's running. And right when you turn off the water, it's just floating. You're going, I don't want to do this anymore. Like it's like the fun just stopped because like you got water constantly, hot water on your feet or anything. That's the best part. And then when you turn that water off, and then you have to like do the action of bathing. It's just like
Now-
this is not fun.
Two things with that. Number one, you have to have a tub that drains well at the top part so you can almost kind of keep the water running. And number two, a lot of times when I'm getting in, I want to like warm up. I'm always going to take a hot bath. I'm never going to take a cold bath. So I get in as I am with almost nothing in there. Like the minute I turn the water on, I get
That's
in.
what I do. But I thought most people just
So
fill the bath
then it
up.
fills up and kind of warms your body up. So it's not like stepping into a hot tub when it's too hot or something like that.
I look ridiculous in a bathtub. And
Weird statement.
Oh, I do
it's
too.
the truth. It's absolutely embarrassing every time
I look
get into
ridiculous in a
bathtub.
wrestling singlet. I do.
Most people do.
It doesn't work for me, but I do like the idea of a bath. It's not functional for me, and I appreciate you guys being a safe space to be able to talk about this.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome anytime. Just don't
Thank you
take a
very
bath.
We got a nice big long one where we are now. It's really the only reason I do it.
How did you handle ice baths back in your playing days?
Wasn't
that
a
something?
fan, but it helped, so I did it.
Okay. Next question. E.g., what is the spiciest thing you remember eating in your life?
I do enjoy spicy food.
Spicier the better, in your opinion?
Yeah, I like everything to have a little kick to it. Spiciest though? I don't really know. I feel like I don't think I've explored that level of spice, if you will. Probably some like sauce I put on a taco at one point, like a mole sauce, Not mole. Like a chipotle
Try to
It's
be a
like-
little bit more cultured on this show. You know, don't
I
come in here talking
apologize.
about mole when we're obviously looking for something very
Totally.
specific as the answer.
Yeah, absolutely. So all I had to say, probably some sort of like gas station taco sauce.
That's bringing it down to
There
our
you go.
level. Gas station taco sauce. Rocky, what is the spiciest thing you ever remember putting into your mouth?
My palate has grown finally. I think that's when as you grow, you want spicier stuff. But I thought as a child that pepper was too spicy. That is not a joke.
Like pepper, the seasoning?
Yes, salt and pepper. I did not like pepper. If I was like a teenager and I got a chicken breast and there was pepper on it, I would get the butter knife and shave it off.
Oh my gosh.
But then probably when I was like 30, I mistook the pepper for salt. I was like, dang it. I just took a bite. I was like, oh, this isn't that bad.
That's what you've been missing.
And this is what pepper. But with my wife who loves to cook Cajun food, I used to not be able to handle spicy stuff, but she doesn't go over the top with it. But it's just like, this is good, but you can feel the kick. Like I would never have been able to eat a piece of Conecuh sausage 10 years ago. I'd be like, this I'm on fire. And people are like, that's so easy. But like back then that would have killed me. So I'm slowly growing. There hadn't been a spiciest thing yet because I'm not one of those ones that's going to take that one chip challenge. I don't care about that. Let me try the hottest pepper. I want to just try it. The Grim Reaper. I don't care. Ghost Reaper.
I can't do spicy stuff either. Baths and spicy stuff. Can't do either one of them.
I do like just a little kick in almost everything, but
Yeah.
I don't want like
I don't
spicy.
either.
and
I
make
want
you
to sweat
kind of
and
thing.
sweat and cry and hiccup.
I don't know what it is. You can't really see it. There's a picture of a plate of noodles right there. This is in China. That is the spiciest thing I've ever eaten in my life.
I believe it.
One bite and you feel like your head's about to explode. I didn't know what anything on this table was. You see, it's kind of like a lazy Susan of a ton of different foods. They had a players party when you first got there. It was like, let us introduce you to Chinese culture. And it wasn't just like, here's egg rolls. It was like, here's all a bunch of stuff you have no idea. The grossest thing I ate was turtle soup. It was literally pieces of a turtle in soup. Like the legs and shell were all in the
Can't
broth.
accuse it of false advertising.
But there was one spicy thing that was awful. And so I took a picture of everything, and that's the one I remember being super spicy.
Wow. We have Russell saying, why don't y'all do the one chip challenge on the show one day?
Nope.
It would kill me. I would die.
I would try it.
I'll try it.
Yeah, I mean, I would
Just
I would
basic
want to do
buffalo
it.
sauce just takes me down. I'm such a lightweight with spices.
I like mild because it has just enough to make it buffalo sauce, and that's all I need.
I hate when I go to Zaxby's having to say, like, can I please get some wimpy sauce? Like, it makes
Well, it's just because it's just the way you say it. Like you
well,
sound weak.
yes, and I look weak and I'm crying as well
Yeah.
while I'm doing it. So it's really upsetting.
Your mom has to order it for you.
That's why I prefer Culver's, because they make me feel like a big boy at Culver's. Okay, next question here. Rockstar,
Yes.
other than the O.J. Simpson case, name an American courtroom trial that riveted you.
Scott Peterson.
Ooh, that's,
that thing.
that's a good one.
That thing went on forever. I never got into the Alex Murdaugh thing that they made like
Right.
Oh, yeah, that
4,000.
one's
I
good.
never got into that. The Scott Peterson thing, and then when I was younger, the Menendez brothers.
Oof.
That was
You're
like
just
then the cable
naming
guy.
all the hits here.
Yeah, those two.
John Lunsford, other than the O.J. trial, name an American courtroom trial that was televised or had extreme coverage that you remember that riveted you.
I don't ever watch anything. I don't know that I've watched anything. I don't ever know if I've ever watched a trial other than OJ when I was 7 or whatever when that happened, because it was just like the thing. The only case that has intrigued me ever, and I didn't like watch it live on TV, but it was the case of the dude that got saved by Larry David being at the Dodgers game. When I've gone back and watched like true crime, I don't do true crime documentaries and all that. I know my wife's into it. Y'all have talked about it and all, but like that long shot one where the whole thing is he got arrested for murder of somebody because his brother was on trial and this person was like gonna testify at the trial, and he got arrested because he had a tie to it and he matched a description basically of like a Hispanic man with, you know, a certain haircut that could have been a lot of people, but he went to a Dodgers game that night, and that's where he was when the murder happened.
Oh yeah.
And because Curb Your Enthusiasm was filming an episode where I think he took a stripper to the Dodgers game, and so they were filming it, and he showed up on the TV episode where then they could say he was there.
That's amazing.
He took a hooker to the Dodger game because he wanted to use the carpool lane.
That's right, because he used the carpool lane
Yeah.
to get there. It's called Long Shot. It is not on my Netflix thing today, but it is on Netflix. It's a Netflix true crime documentary that
Wow.
I would recommend.
E.g., courtroom drama that riveted you. What are you going with? There's one I'm surprised has not been mentioned yet.
Casey Anthony?
That's the one.
That was mine.
I was at CNN headquarters when that happened.
Really?
Yes. I was on a tour, a VIP tour of CNN, and then all of a sudden, all the producers start scrambling, and I had already started working in the business, I think, so I knew something big was happening, and I knew that was going to wrap soon. And I'm watching the producers talking to Nancy Grace through their headsets about, be ready, we're coming to you right after the verdict and all this stuff. And she's like watching it. And it was just a very intense day to be randomly taking the studio tour of CNN.
Yeah.
And they're like, they're doing all this breaking news coverage. And we're in there as a group, like just standing while people are pushing each other out of the way to get through. And I'm like, I thought that they would maybe cancel the tour if it like ended up in an actual breaking news situation. But no, we kept going. And the Casey Anthony trial is definitely one that I would
Just a really
think
good
would
tour.
be brought up.
I remember
I got my money's worth that day.
I was when that was going on, I was probably, what year was that?
Oh gosh,
2008 or 2009?
that sounds around there. I'd say 2010 if I had to guess. What do you, John? What do you have? Casey Anthony trial for the date?
It was decided in 2011.
2011.
Okay, when did it happen?
Probably 2009,
2008 is when
Okay.
she was indicted.
So when she was indicted, I was in Ponte Vedra visiting my grandma. And one of my like earliest memories is of this. I remember obviously like seeing that places, what was going on. And since it happened in Florida, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Happened in Florida, I was so scared that Casey Anthony was going to come find me because the daughter, what was her name? It was
Kaylee.
Kaylee was not close to my age, but close enough to my age where I was really freaked out about Casey Anthony.
Wow.
I know.
Did she get arrested at Universal Studios?
Yes.
She did for impersonating an employee, I believe. And the fact that she was acquitted was a huge bombshell revelation there.
The one
in the
that
court.
I'll be, sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
But the one that I'll be interested in is the Brian Koberger one of the Idaho girls that got killed
Yes.
and the guy.
Yes.
Sure.
Ready for that to be wrapped up with a bow.
I don't
The
ever
way
pay
they were
attention
able to
this.
track down this guy as the prime suspect
Yeah.
is fascinating. I can't wait for all that to come out in the trial of what detective skills that they used to track this guy down, because they looked like a bunch of clowns early on.
For a month.
Like intentionally, they looked like clowns.
Playing on his
And
arrogance.
they were getting a lot of hate. And then all of a sudden, they had all the answers in no
had
time
none.
because they'd been working the case the right way. So we'll see how that plays itself out. Next question here. This is number 9. John, are you a good skee ball player?
I'm okay.
So you
I
think
wouldn't say I'm great, but I can hold my own.
if me and you competed in skee ball, you think it would be competitive?
Yeah. Are you good at it?
I like to think I'm pretty. I mean, I worked at a skating rink for like a decade.
If we played 5 games, it'd be 3-2 one way or the other.
Yeah. Okay. E.g., are you a good skee ball player?
I have never played skee ball in my life,
What?
but can I rephrase the word foosball? I am
Hate
excellent at.
foosball.
Can you just change the question?
I'm
Totally
like-
different game, but yeah.
Just
Weirdly
racket.
good at it though. It's like I would consider it one of my hidden talents is foosball.
Foosball.
Yes. I've never
Well,
revealed
now
that.
we have to see if that's
Yeah.
actually true, because I believe you're overhyping
No,
yourself.
I am like 25-1 against Mikey over the last 2 times.
Are
he's
you
come in.
sure
So
Mikey
Mikey's
isn't
bad
just
at
a
it.
bad?
No, he is. He is so good at everything.
He's not allowed to use his hands.
Like it's annoying. He's so good at everything. It's annoying. Like tennis, I can never beat him. Golf, like she's just good at everything. Basketball,
It's like flipping the players over
You
the
know,
nose.
we
But-
talked about David Beckham. You think David Beckham's a good foosball player?
Probably.
That would be frustrating.
He's an
if you're
attractive foosball player. Bad investor, but
like, more plastic on the foosball
wonder if this is-
or on his face.
oh, face. He's looking rough. But
Mikey just texted me and I thought it was him being like, yeah, she's actually that good, but it wasn't about that. I guess she's not watching today.
You mean you're 1 in 25 against me?
Probably a good
That's
idea
my
if
wife would
Mikey
text me.
never watches this episode, because you've
No,
really.
this weekend he's coming and like we're gonna play foosball, but like it's kind of started some arguments because I'm so good.
Well, you got to film it now.
oh yeah, you got yeah.
There
I can
has
do
to be evidence that, like,
Yeah, I mean, I just know the.
what happens if Mikey goes like 4-0 against you?
He won't though.
Oh,
Like,
he'll go 4-1.
If we don't see footage, it means that happened.
okay. Y'all have my full word.
And make sure
Foosball.
you shoot it horizontally so we can use it here on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. I will.
Rocky, are you a good? I even forgot what the question was. Are you a good
Skee-ball.
skee ball player?
I think I'm okay. I would put myself just below middle.
Would you guys watch any sort of professional skee ball
I watched
circuit?
one round.
Would you watch any of that? Would that be something? Should that be an Olympic game?
Do you get to see the tickets come out and everything?
Curling is basically a form of ice skee ball, isn't it?
Well, curling's more relaxing. With
No,
skee ball, you got to
I
watch the
mean-
ball bounce and no.
I mean, I'll watch anything competitive if it's done the right way. So sure,
Even Meltdown Triple Threat Trivia, which, spoiler alert, you won yesterday.
I did.
Number 10, final question here. E.G., what's the first film that you remember genuinely scaring the daylights out of you?
Wizard of Oz.
Wow, all the way back in 1939.
Yep.
Huh?
Been around the block a few times.
Wow.
The Wicked Witch of the West.
So a lot of people, it's the Flying Monkeys. For you, it was the
her.
Wicked Witch.
Yeah, that scene where they're in like the tower. Freaky.
Have you seen Wicked?
Yeah. On Broadway.
Were you scared?
No.
Okay. Did it humanize the Wicked Witch for you? Did you feel differently?
No.
Okay. No more runway to land this plane. Rockstar, what is the first movie that you remember genuinely freaking you out?
You ready for this?
I'm ready for this, I think.
Flowers in the Attic.
I don't know anything
I
about
don't
this
even know
movie.
what that is.
Who played Nurse Ratched in Cuckoo's Nest?
I don't remember her name, but I know her face.
She played a grandmother. A woman's father was ill, and she had 4 kids.
Louise Fletcher.
Christy Swanson was one of those. It was a boy and a girl, and then twins, boy-girl twins. And the father was about to die, and he remarried this woman who was Louise Fletcher or whatever. So they go to this huge house, and she's wanting her half of the estate, but the new wife wants it too. So the new wife keeps the kids in an attic to starve, and they'll feed them everything, but she's slowly poisoning them. And it's one of the scariest things. Like that woman, Louise Fletcher. Like I will always in the score to the song, because it's probably a Lifetime movie if you watch it now, but it was originally a book. But I was probably 6 or 7 when I saw it, and I was so scared to death of this woman. She was so mean. It's the Flowers in the Attic.
Seems like she's played some really evil people throughout her career. John, what is the first movie you remember genuinely scaring the daylights out of you?
The Ring.
That's the first one?
Mm-hmm. God, it's really one of the first horror movies I
The
ever
doorbell
watched.
thing? Sorry.
Yeah. The pizza man's outside. No, The Ring. The Ring and The Grudge. I feel like those kind of came out around the same time. They both scared me.
I hated both of those movies.
I was like middle school age at the time.
Everyone went crazy for that phase of like Japanese horror coming in, and for me that was one of my least favorite phases as a horror fan. But I mean, I understand why that movie freaked you out, because it freaked out a lot of people. I just thought there would be something as a younger person that you saw on screen.
Didn't really watch anything.
I could have sworn you watched something when you were a kid that was violent or something that really scarred you.
There was something I watched
Yes.
one time.
And you were like, whoa, I don't like this and I will never like this.
It's
and
about the same time as The Ring, so I don't know if
something.
If it was which was first. There's a
something.
movie called Virus that I didn't see it in theaters or anything, but it was my birthday, and we went to Blockbuster, and my dad picked it out. I don't know. I mean, it was, well, it came out in 1999, but I don't remember when we watched it. The Ring was 01, 02, so somewhere around that time.
Sounds right.
I saw that in theaters. But it's Jamie Lee Curtis is the main person in it. Donald Sutherland's in it. But it's all about their they find like a submarine or something, or a boat that's like doesn't have any people on it, so they try to like go and like pillage it and see what valuable stuff they can find. Turns out the whole reason everybody's dead on it, or they find out people are dead on it and there's no human life, and why everybody's dead is because a virus has taken over all the like robotics on the ship, and so these like robots take over and start just like brutally murdering everybody. And it was super violent.
Okay.
It was awful. It was a terrible movie, and it kind of scarred me too. But it was like an at-home movie, so I was like, if I didn't like it, I'd just go, yeah. But like The Ring, I felt like I had to watch.
Well, from The Ring to The Thing, that is what John Lunsford was forced to watch over the weekend. We have our retro trailer reaction, and based on how John enjoys scary movies, I assume you know how he enjoyed The Thing from 1982. Rockstar, you're a part of this series, Retro Trailer Reactions. Are you enjoying this journey through all these cinematic adventures that we're all watching thanks to the Dune popcorn bucket?
I am. I do. I saw the revelation of what we're going to do next, and has that been revealed to you?
That has been revealed. It was drawn yesterday, and John is not
John
gonna be happy
excited
about it.
Nope.
All
It's
right.
Alien from 1979.
Another Tyler pick.
Another Tyler pick.
Still hadn't had one.
And Tyler keeps going around saying if he thinks The Thing and Alien are bad, he's got a whole nother thing coming. So I don't know what else could be in the bucket.
I like how this project has turned into Torture John.
That's what Tyler's turned it into. I'm trying to turn it into something to maybe, bring you a little bit closer to some of my sensibilities. But one thing, John, that does not have to be scary, that is your weight loss journey. And we're experiencing that through Leslie and her board-certified team. They're at Way to Wellness.
Yeah, go to Way to Wellness. You can get the weigh-ins like we are right now. You can get a plan built for you at aplanforme.com. We're over 65 pounds down combined between Tim and I, and you can see us weighing in right there. Smiles on our face. Leslie in the background there and her whole board-certified team helping us out. They developed a plan for me. They developed a plan for Tim. They developed a plan for Jim Dunaway, my dad, who made me watch that movie one time. All of us are losing weight and doing it the right way with our friends at Way to Wellness. Go to aplanforme.com to learn more.
When are we getting Tim Lunsford up here?
Oh, he's begged every day to come up here, so whenever you want.
Why don't you let him?
It's up to you.
It's up to me. I
up
have
to
to be
you.
the one. I'm going to make it happen then.
Okay.
We're going to get Tim Lunsford up here. You know what? Ooh.
Ooh.
He wants to promote his book he did.
You wrote a book?
It's like a kind of kid's book.
Hey.
Oh my gosh, I'll go get it for my niece.
Let me ask the chat. Would you guys be okay with John's dad coming on the show and spending some time with us? He's a hoot, I promise. But I think Tim Lunsford, I think that the audience would love some Tim Lunsford. They don't know.
He just had eye surgery, so maybe not anytime
gosh.
soon. But
You could wear glasses.
to be fair, I'm about to have surgery. We're
Cyclops
both
does it.
about to be out of commission for a little bit.
Beat me to it, Rocky.
Yep.
It
What-
looks like a pirate right
What's
now.
one thing people need to know about Tim Lunsford that they don't already, Rockstar, based on what you know?
High energy
That's a compliment, we promise.
would be great on a microphone. Likes to, and was really good at Name That Stripper.
He loved. If there's one thing he wants the next round to bring back, it's Name That Stripper. And every time we talk about, oh, we should bring back the chick bracket, we should bring back this, it's always like, if you don't bring back Name That Stripper, my dad's going to not listen to the show anymore. That's the one thing he wants. Name That Stripper was really, really funny. I understand why it's not done anymore, but
what was the premise of that bit? I don't remember it.
So
Are we allowed to talk about it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll
it was
let Rocky
back in the
explain.
it was back in probably 2007, 2008. Ian came up with this idea, or Lance, where I would have a Spotify playlist and I'd have like typical stripper music, and I'd play like
Typical.
Pour Some Sugar on Me. Yeah, I don't know, Pour Some Sugar on Me or something like that, and then so the caller would have a script written where you write a script like saying, "And coming to the stage, we've got Bambi," and you say all this stuff. She's got a C-section scar, but ignore that and all that stuff. And you do this whole bit like, "They go to the stage, Bambi," and then I pull the music back up.
it's supposed to be like a funny, embarrassing, like you're introducing a stripper coming to the stage.
Yeah.
My dad loved it and would call in every single time we did it.
He did great ones too.
Of course, when I was an intern, I had to answer the phone, and so I was like, okay, Dad, I'll put you on.
Okay, a lot of people want to see Tim Lunsford on the show. We're going to make it happen. I think, is your dad someone who enjoys trivia competition? Would that be a good day for him to, maybe not the one coming
maybe.
up, but down the road?
Maybe my mom.
I feel like you're getting nervous.
No, I think Spud and my dad would actually go really well together. Just from the talking back and forth from trivia, my mom every time it's like I knew all those answers. And only this past time, like yesterday, was the first time she's like, I didn't know the answers to half the things that were asked. They were either super easy or super hard questions yesterday, but he may do it. I don't know. He'll do. Here's the truth is he'll do anything you ask.
The
him to
chat
do.
is all about it. So we're going to keep teasing that Tim Lunsford's going to join the show. He's an icon for sure. And we will see how it turns out.
Steven said, "Get your dad to do a Name That Stripper bit." I have all of his Name That Stripper bits saved from when I was an intern. For some reason, all the things I saved from our old job, that's the one thing I still have. It's from like 2008.
Maybe we should get Rocky and Lance in here performing Name That Stripper while your dad just reacts and the camera's on him the entire time. It's just him chortling. That would be very
Chortling.
funny. It would be. It would be great. Okay. That's going to be some good stuff. You won't want to miss that. We will make sure our people talk to Tim Lunsford's people. But until then, a different type of Lunsford is going to be taking the stage, and that is one to present the next edition of Lunce's List. Netflix's Rebel Moon Part 2 has reached new lows for director Zack Snyder, currently sitting at an abysmal 15% on Rotten Tomatoes with critics and just 52% with audience members, a lot of those being his diehard fans attempting to keep that number above water. Lunsford has been very adamant about avoiding spending your time on the film, if at all possible, on Netflix. But if you're still looking to Netflix and chill over the next few days, then we have a solution for you. Let's get ready to discuss John's personal picks on another brand new edition of Lunce's List.
What is this? What is this? Lunce's List, Lunce's List, oh. What is this? What is this? Lunce's List, Lunce's List, oh. Lunce's List to buy. Lunce's List to buy. Lunce's List to buy. Lunce's List to buy.
All right, John, you were to name 5 things actually worth watching on Netflix this weekend. I would think out of all the lists I've given you, this one may have been the easiest. Is that fair?
No, because there are a lot of things worth watching on Netflix. Also, because I decided to take the approach of, a lot of times you give me a list and it's like, well, can I do this? Well, can I do that? And you leave it open-ended a lot of times on purpose. So I decided to kind of stay away from like the massive things. I could say, go watch Stranger Things. Everybody knows Stranger Things exists and is out there, and you have either watched it already or you don't want to watch it.
You're right.
So I'm not going to force you to go watch Stranger Things because you don't like it like I do or like Rocky does. I don't know if EG likes it or not. But you like Stranger Things?
No.
I don't either.
So the two of y'all can go watch something, and me and Rocky, because you like it, right, Rocky?
I love it. Oh, well, last season.
But the last season, Separate Ways remix that they did was really good.
The trailer was great.
So you're using this segment to promote Stranger Things. Got it.
Stranger Things, like Breaking Bad's on there. Same thing with Breaking Bad. You've already watched it or you don't care. House of Cards, I would still say is worth ultimately a watch. I know it's kind of, we don't talk about it thing now, but like it's still overall a good show, at least the first 4 seasons or whatever. So there's stuff like that. And then I'm not going to do like big budget movies like The Matrix just came on there. Well, everybody's either seen The Matrix or not by this point, and you either fallen asleep in it or not. So I'm going to do some, maybe smaller stuff that's like, hey, this is on Netflix. You should watch it. It's not all original stuff. Some is, some isn't. Movies and TV shows that you can watch. But I came up with a list a mile long, and I had to stop because it's like, these are all things I really, really enjoy, and I have consumed on Netflix for the last 10 years since I've been doing original stuff. So it's hard to narrow it down to 5, but I did it.
Start with number 5 today.
Let's please start with number 5.
Number 8 on the list.
As Netflix, Rocky, they continue to raise prices, but people continue to stick with the platform. It's the biggest streamer in the world.
I know everybody's going to say they're raising it one more time. I'm done. I'm out. And they don't go out.
Number 5, the OA.
Is that subtitles?
No.
Okay.
Or as Al Pacino calls it, the OA.
Let's not, they'll do that again.
I won't. I'm so sorry.
Anyway, the OA
I'm convinced
is
that at any point EG's going to go unconscious over there. She looks like she's falling
Why?
back in her chair. I don't know.
No, I just don't have anywhere for my legs to go, and I don't want to like hit anything.
Okay. Just please don't knock anything off the wall.
I'm trying not to.
Okay.
So this is a show that just randomly popped up. A lot of times you get suggested things and be like, I don't want to watch that after you watch something on Netflix. This one popped up. It's kind of a sci-fi, supernatural, fantasy style show. It is written, directed, produced by Britt Marling, who, if you saw her, you're like, oh, I may have seen her in something, but she's not like a giant name. But it was paid for by Brad Pitt with Plan B, and he's listed as like the lead producer, basically, who made it happen. The first part's a little slow. It's a 2-part or 2-season show, and I think they canceled it after that. But the second season has Zendaya in it. It is pretty good, and also has Kingsley Ben-Adir that just played Bob Marley and has done a bunch of stuff. He's in it as well.
And the premise of this?
The premise of it is basically I'm setting it up, is a woman basically appears out of nowhere after 7 years of being gone. And the OA stands for Original Angel, is what OA stands for. She calls herself that. And basically she shows up. She's like kind of beaten up a little bit, but when she shows up, she can see, and she was blind when she disappeared. And so it's like, okay, well, where have you been the last 7 years? How can you all of a sudden see what's happened? And it basically tells a story about how she got kidnapped and had to go through these like tests where they tried to turn her into like a supernatural thing. And the whole premise is basically Jason Isaacs is the bad guy in it. And
which I like very much.
He's really good at it. He basically captures a bunch of people who have had near-death experiences at some point in their life. Mm-hmm. And when you experience a near-death experience, you go to like a different plane, like a different astral plane or whatever. And so he basically grabs these people, kills them on purpose, and then brings them back to life to try to see, can you like get answers on the universe when you go into a different plane of existence?
Feels like The Leftovers a little bit to me.
I love The Leftovers.
It's got a
It's
little
got a
leftovers
little
to it.
leftovers.
I love the
vibe
left.
to
This
it.
doesn't have. I don't have.
But it's very good. It's very weird, but I would recommend giving it a shot.
E.G., has John Lunsford sold you on the OA?
Probably not. Not in a mean way. I just don't think
Not
I
in a
would
mean way.
consume
No.
that
So-
on by my. I get freaked out easily.
The first, it's not like violent. It's sexual in nature a little bit, but like so she comes back and goes to school and tries to teach these other kids like in the neighborhood how to do this dance. And if they do this dance the right way, it'll take them off to a different plane. And the whole time you're trying to think, is she crazy? Like what she's doing, because it sounds like she's crazy. And she also gets from The Office, sits across from Stanley.
Creed.
No.
Phyllis.
There it is.
Phyllis. Phyllis is in it randomly as like a teacher that she also convinces to do all this weird stuff. It's very bizarre.
Okay.
But it is very, very well done. I know I'm not selling it.
You're
but
not. No
you
one,
have to
literally
watch it.
no one is excited about this more than before you started talking.
Zendaya's in it though.
Look, I'm glad that you love it here, and I'm sure that there's a lot of people that do love it, and that's great. And I just, that's where we're at here with that. So
It was critically and all very well received. The people that watched it very well received it, but nobody
there's
watched
something
it.
I was going to say about
More like
the
no
Pit of the OA.
way.
Something I was going to say about this, but I cannot remember exactly what I was going to say. Let's move on to number 4. The
Rocky,
OA at number 5.
I'm gonna have you move your mic in just a hair. You're getting in the there. We
I'm
go.
sorry.
I like that. A producer,
I just got yelled at.
not yelling at me for the first time. Normally, Tyler's the one yelling at me.
The OA season 2.
Right.
Oh,
Oh, okay. We're back. We're back on good terms
Okay.
now, John. Come on. This is a great one.
I watched this last night.
EG would love this movie.
Yeah, I think you would. It's an Aaron Sorkin film about poker. Have you seen Molly's Game?
I have. I enjoyed it, and I actually had a story. I was going to get the original Molly was going to come on our show. Then she had a scheduling conflict like 2 days later.
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
That would have been great. Yeah, it's I don't know if you didn't like because you didn't like poker or not.
No, I don't mind poker. I just you guys.
You don't
put
like
me-
us talking about poker.
I
Well,
don't
Molly's
dislike
Game-
you guys talking about poker.
Molly's Game is the best poker movie out there. Aaron Sorkin, everything he does for the most part is really, really good. And yeah, it's a really good movie. I watched it last night.
so good. And
It does the best job of showing the poker and like telling you what's happening with the poker. Like Rounders does a good job, but the whole thing is Molly's learning poker as she goes. So it does a good job from the beginning of if you have no idea what's happening in poker, you can learn a lot about poker as you go.
I think it does the best job of showing you different player types because there's a lot of people that want to play the games, but for different motivations. Some people want to be the best at the game. Some people want to use it for the social factor. Some people want to use it for their bankroll. Some people want to use it for their business acumen of being able to trade industry secrets. That exists at the poker table. In any game you play in, that exists, and Molly's Game gets that right. Rounders is way more, are they a smart player or are they a dumb player? And that's pretty much the whole movie of player types.
It gets into the weeds a little bit more of what a poker player is actually thinking.
Yeah.
But I feel like for the general person, Molly's Game really works and shows the positives and the negatives of all those things you said.
It's the best non-sports movie I've ever seen because
I consider
it's
it a
got
sports movie.
sports elements to it, but I don't necessarily consider it a sports movie. You'd have to watch it to understand what I mean. Let's go to number 3 on Lunce's list. I love Molly's Game, one of my favorite movies ever made. Molly's Game at number 4. Number 3. Let me know when you see it.
Thought you were about to write Moana.
Moneyball.
Oh yeah, good one.
As lifelong Oakland Athletics fans, I can get behind this one as well.
And second time I mentioned Brad Pitt on here as well. Yeah, I thought Jonah Hill was incredible in it. Brad Pitt is really good in it. Philip Seymour Hoffman is really good in it. Chris Pratt's really good in it. It's got a lot of people in it. Really good movie, even if you don't like baseball. It's really because this is one that like I like making spreadsheets. And this is like Spreadsheets in Baseball, the movie.
That's
basically.
the closest you've ever sounded to Milton on Office Space.
Yeah.
I like making
making
spreadsheets.
spreadsheets. The
Spreadsheets.
squirrels were doing it.
I like making spreadsheets.
Okay. And then stapling them together.
Yeah.
Moneyball at number
It's on
3.
fire.
What else needs to be said about Moneyball that hadn't already been said? EG, is this a movie you've seen?
Yeah, I've
Moneyball?
seen it. I've seen it multiple times.
You're a big baseball fan. Does it get that right?
It does. I'm not one that usually likes sports movies. I don't know. Sports movies and animal movies don't really do it for me.
Hold on. You want to dedicate
You'd
your
hate
life.
Air Bud.
You want to do sports. It's very funny, Rockstar.
Thanks.
You want to do sports reporting for a living.
Yeah.
That is your dream in life, to
Yep.
do that on a constant basis, and yet you don't like sports movies.
No,
Where's
really,
the disconnect?
I never really have. I just don't. Something about it. I like true sports movies, like based on a real story. I like those a little bit better, but it just doesn't do it for me.
Okay.
Simple as that.
Okay.
Or horse movies, specifically horse movies.
Horse movies
They
you
make me
don't
sad.
like.
No.
Sad horse movies? Like,
Don't
No,
watch
just-
Seabiscuit.
Or Spirit. Y'all remember Spirit?
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Black Beauty.
Yeah.
What other horse movies are there?
Secretariat.
Mm.
Yep.
Hot to Trot.
Warhorse.
There's a lot.
War Horse is. I really enjoyed that movie.
Who's Harry Crumb?
Hidalgo. Anybody remember Hidalgo?
Is that with
With Viggo Mortensen?
yeah, Viggo Mortensen.
Mr. Ed television series. Okay. Number 2 on Lunce's list. I feel like we're doing a poor job on our end, John. You're doing a wonderful job with 4 and 3 at the very least, but
With
I
4
like
and 3.
4 and 3.
Molly's Game and Moneyball.
Ooh,
2.
Red.
Go in for things to watch on Netflix this weekend that are actually good.
Icarus.
At number 2,
That is a good documentary.
Icarus. I actually thought you chose the movie Red based on what I heard EG proclaim.
I
No,
thought
I
you were going to do
just-
Klaus.
Icarus.
I did Red because number 1, the poster for Icarus is red, and number 2, it's the only documentary on the list, so it's a little different. Won the Oscar for Best Documentary in it was 2017 year, so won in 2018. This is a fascinating documentary because it's one of the only main documentaries I can really remember, and I'm not a big documentary guy. But what sold it on is a sports documentary. Is the whole premise of it is a guy decides he wants to. This is in the wake of Lance Armstrong and the doping and everything in cycling. He decides I want to try to get away with doping in an amateur cycle race that they will drug test, but can I do it? Build myself up to be really, really good and get away with it. And so he contacts a Russian scientist to be like, hey, help me with this. I want you to try to like do a documentary about how I cheated the system, basically. And come to find out the guy who does the doping stuff in Russia was actually a part of the Russian sanctioned doping with the Olympics when they got banned out of the Olympics. And he ends up uncovering this entire, doping conspiracy with Russia at the Olympics, and they end up getting caught and everything, and how exactly they changed out drug tests when they were being tested at the Olympics and everything. And it's fascinating. And he totally randomly stumbles upon it from a random, hey, I want to try to win some random amateur bike race. And
Yeah.
it's a fascinating documentary.
This documentary had critical acclaim across the board. You aren't the only one that is waving the flag of Icarus. There are so many that support your decision of having Icarus at the number 2 spot, and it may have flown under some people's radars there.
Like that.
Did you like that?
Yeah.
like
They far away, a little bit too far from the sun.
A little bit too far away from the sun, correct. Number 5, the OA. Number 4, Molly's Game. Number 3, Moneyball. Number 2, Icarus. Any honorable mentions before we get to number 1?
Roma. I really like Roma. Tim did not like Roma. Was nominated for a bunch of Oscars. I don't remember if it won any or not. It's a Spanish film that is all black and white, but it was incredibly well done.
Gross.
It's incredibly well done. Has one of the best one-shot scenes I've ever seen in it. It was really, really good. Okja is a really, really good movie. It's a South Korean movie. Jake Gyllenhaal's in it. Tilda Swinton's in it. It's got a bunch of English in it. It's not at all in Korean, but
EG would hate it because it's an animal movie.
it's all about basically they start growing super pigs
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
no.
good.
that they
More
can-
like
Exactly what I
Oincha.
want to see on film.
they start growing these like super pigs. They find a way to do it, and so they give different farmers around like the world these pigs to grow, and so it ends up growing like the size of this room. And they don't realize that they're basically going to come and take it and like use it for its meat and stuff like that, like they would with a normal pig.
Aw,
And so it's all about trying to save
the pigs.
Okja, which is the pig that they end up growing. The Meyerowitz stories is really good. I had that on some other list. I don't remember. It may have been on my honorable mention for Adam Sandler. It's Adam Sandler, Ben Stiller in a serious role. It was really, really good.
By the way, have you seen the headlines about Ben Stiller being upset about how Zoolander 2, he thought it was a movie everybody wanted, and it ended up being a movie nobody wanted, and it broke his heart?
No, I think it's something that everybody wanted at the time when they heard about it. Then it was awful. It's like it's a good idea, but it's like 20 years too late. Like you can't do Dumb and Dumber 2. It's too late.
Yeah.
Way too long.
It's one of my top picks on worst sequels ever. It was.
He genuinely
bad.
thought it was a really good movie, and when nobody liked it and said, "Why does this movie exist?" It kind of crushed him, and I think that's when he decided, you know what, I'm just going to stick to directing. I'm done with this whole thing.
That's why there should never be a Napoleon Dynamite 2. No, just leave it. It was great. Leave it.
Comedy sequels very rarely work. John, I'm sorry to step on your toes there. Are there any other honorable mentions?
That was it.
Okay. Number one, watch number one up here, be Zoolander 2. I'm kidding. It was already on worst sequels list. Number one thing you should watch on Netflix instead of Rebel Moon Part 2. Is it Rebel Moon Part 1? Is he going to pull a fastball here? I don't think he is. The list does not lie.
THEM.
What John decides. What are we going with?
Christmas Story.
The marriage story.
A Marriage Story? Is that with Scarlett Johansson?
Yes, it is. Scarlett Johansson, Adam Driver, Laura Dern, Ray Liotta, nominated for a ton of Oscars. I think Laura Dern is the only one that actually won.
Did he get screenplay?
I
actually think Laura Dern may have been the only thing that won. Yes.
But it's nominated for Best Picture. Adam Driver is really good. He lost to Joaquin Phoenix, I believe, that year. I thought Scarlett Johansson should have won because she was nominated for both Jojo Rabbit and this. I feel like she should have won for this. Or even over Laura Dern, because I thought she was better in the movie than Laura Dern was. But anyway, really, really good movie. It's about Adam Driver, Scarlett Johansson are married. They're going through a divorce. It's all about the story of their marriage. That's why it's called Marriage Story.
Okay.
Really, really good. Really, really good movie. I recommend
it. The film received a leading 6 nominations, including Best Picture. It won for Best Supporting Actress in Laura Dern. And it is a tremendous movie. You got to be in the right headspace for it, though, and it's an awful first date movie. If you're looking to legitimately Netflix and chill, this isn't the one for you.
Tim watched it before I did. He's like, "Do not watch this with Laurel," and I did anyway. And we both enjoyed it. It was very good, but
I don't know. It's a weird story to watch when you're in a relationship because it will bring up if you've ever had a fight in your relationship, which who hasn't, right? Choco Taco.
We've never had a fight, Nancy and I, ever.
I guess that's not what I guess I was bringing up the time you did have a fight in a.
I wasn't a fight. She just wasn't paying attention to me.
Sorry.
Yeah, I agree.
Are we having a fight right now? Anyway,
No,
Marriage Story.
Don't watch Marriage Story together.
Right, me and Rockstar. This is not the movie.
A Meltdown story.
But Marriage Story delivers, and it really goes. It has a lot to say about how divorce attorneys look at this, and how when one side ramps up, the other one then has to follow with more aggression, and then it just keeps catapulting to where you have two people who are sort of like, well, I guess this is the right move of what I should be doing. Marriage Story is a really fascinating movie and one that I also highly recommend. John, you overall did very well, but most of it is movies that have been out for multiple years that people can catch up on, and that's not an insult of your list.
Well, I feel like the average person didn't necessarily rush to go watch Marriage Story when there's a million other options on there. Yeah. It was nominated for every award, and if you're like super into, hey, I got to watch the Oscar movies, then yeah, you watched it. But
let's just really quickly run through something here. You really loved Three Body Problem. It's something that if people have not checked out, you would recommend.
Yep, I really love Three Body Problem. Altered Carbon's another one I would probably have as an honorable mention. I really liked it. I feel like it didn't get really critically well received, and a lot of people didn't watch it. Joel Kinnaman's the main person the first season. Anthony Mackie's the main person the second season. Then they canceled it. But it was really, really good.
Black Mirror is something.
Black Mirror I kind of put in the same category as Stranger Things. I feel like it's had its moment. Everybody's watched it.
But if people are wanting to sample it, now would be a great time.
Yeah.
With how limited.
And they are coming out with a new season here soon. So
there's not a ton of content this year coming out due to the writer's strikes. And it is beneficial to maybe go back and look at some of the best stuff over the previous years that you may have missed. So good stuff there, John. Appreciate your Lunce's list. And more than anything here on this show, John, we appreciate our title sponsor. That's MyBookie.
We do. You can go bet at mybookie.ag. Playoffs are underway in the NBA and NHL. NHL, Preds, 1-1. They're starting up tomorrow in Nashville. Getting that car all built up. I get triggered every time I see that car that I hit with a sledgehammer and almost broke my shin with. But it's playoff time, so you can go bet on that. You can bet on the NBA playoffs with Tim's Mavs. You can bet on the Braves for EG, and you can bet on whatever Rockstar wants to watch in sports as well.
A good life.
and go do that at mybookie.ag. Promo code next round. Also, go play in that casino as well.
We have Rod in the chat who has insulted the show, and the truth is I totally agree with what Rod is saying. Rod says, EG trapped in a room full of nerds. She is checked out.
No, I
don't agree that you're checked out,
Rod,
but I agree you're in a room full of nerds.
I really am not
I agree that
checked
she's
out.
trapped too. The door is locked.
I am trapped, and I do feel physically trapped behind this desk, but it's okay. I love my time here. I really do. I love my time here.
I hate
twice.
it, but I guess I love
Blink
my time
twice
here.
if you're in distress.
Yeah.
No,
EG.
I'm not. This is awesome. I'm having to like arrange myself to be like still in control of the keyboard, but not kick anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This explains why Tyler had so much pent-up aggression about getting out of that seat and becoming a competitor on Triple Threat Trivia. If you missed our competition yesterday, even though we now all know who won the game, this is one of, if not the best, Triple Threat Trivia matches that we've had. I recommend you go back to yesterday's show if you haven't seen it already and check it out. You guys in the chat have been killing it today. I wish I could have gotten to more of what you guys had to say, especially during the argument back and forth about what was the movie that scared the ever-loving mess out of you when you saw it for the first time. Some great stuff there. Amityville Horror came up a lot. Really appreciate you guys engaging, being a part of the show, and helping build this platform with us. We're doing this for you, and we can't do it without you. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up on this video. Really does help the channel growth and ensures that we are here every day for you at 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern. Thank you so much for your support. We will have a show for you tomorrow that will be right here on the channel. John is scheduled for surgery. He has talked about being scheduled for surgery and going under the knife. We all wish John Lunsford the very best tomorrow, and we will have a scheduled show for you on Friday. So make sure you check that out. We appreciate all of your support. Have a wonderful rest of your day from the entire crew here at The Meltdown.